life I've barely spoken. Your words have been so broken. I've been under your hypnosis. Why did I sip that potion? I'm so done with holy ghosting. My birth, it is an omen. Lay me down up in the ocean until you see no motion. Right now I can barely focus. I'm showing no emotion. On your knees, show your devotion. My skin is black but golden. I'm not here for bragging, boasting. Ain't lying, I've been chosen. Mind is burning, heart's exploding. This is my magnum opus. Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out? I stop and just look around to see if you're with me now. Tell me, are you with me now? Ready to put it down. Start at the bottom, already forgot them, but they won't forgive me now. You really ain't ready now. You haters just in the crowd, but still I just look around. Are you with me now? Are you with me? Step in the fire, get ready to take it higher. Real coming out your amplifier. Y'all want every black man to be rich and pride. Why these weapons up and turn into shy, huh? Cell phone became your brother. Internet replaced your mother. You leaving homies on red. It's no wonder all your friends dead. Jealousy was a centerpiece, so my best friends turned to enemies. Sabotage my identity. Why they wanna treat me like a Kennedy? They wanna affect the legacy. Protect the heart, I cut off the extremities. I'll never be another piece in your recipe for social supremacy. Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out? I stop and just look around to see if you're with me now. Tell me, are you with me now? Ready to put it down. Start at the bottom, already forgot them, but they won't forgive me now. You really ain't ready now. You haters just in the crowd, but till I just look around. Are you with me now? Are you with me now? Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out? I stop and just look around to see if you're with me now. Tell me, are you with me now? Ready to put it down. Start at the bottom, already forgot them, but they won't forgive me now. You really ain't ready now. You haters just in the crowd, but still I just look around. Are you with me now? Are you with me now? Whoa. I feel it coming now. It's too late to shut it down. Over the mountain now. Burn every valley down. I don't know where my mind is. Don't even know what time is. Somebody stop the virus. I don't think I survived this. I feel it coming now. It's too late to shut it down. Over the mountain now. Burning the valley down. I don't know where my mind is. Don't even know what time is. Somebody stop the virus. Room full of bodies, but nothing but silence. Yeah, I'm quiet, but f*** all that shyness. Go crazy, turn this bitch into an asylum. You fly, but we ain't looking for pilots. I never bow down to a tyrant, His Highness. Even Jack said, f*** all them giants. What goes up comes down, man, that's basic science. Look at my iris and you'll see the fines. I'd rather not get involved with you. What's the problem, man? I'll solve all you sign. How you find when your time up? How you climb when your line stuck? Barbershop getting lined up. Yeah, your hair good, but your mind super clear. Uber everywhere. This sound like Superman is here. Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out? I stop and just look around to see if you're with me now. Tell me, are you with me now? Ready to put it down. Start at the bottom, already forgot them, but they won't forgive me now. You really ain't ready now. You haters just in the crowd, but still I just look around. Are you with me now? Are you with me now?
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ward Radio live stream. I am your host, Cardin Ellis. Today I'm joined in the studio by my lovely wife, Brittany the Shadow, as well as via Zoom by a couple of friends here. We're going to do something interesting today. We got Dave Butler, author of In the Language of Adam, as well as Ryland Fowers, also known as Ether's Elephant on YouTube. I'm actually pulling up right here so everybody can see your YouTube channel, Ryland, which, by the way, that is such a cool Utah name where like they mixed like Ryan and
I know,
Marplin.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I dig it. So known as Ether's Elephant. He does kind of fun debunkings here, fun like historical stuff. And his latest video is Jacob Hansen takes the LDS Compass quiz. He is the, I don't want to say sole proprietor, inventor, trailblazer. I don't know what we can call it, but you made this quiz and everybody's taking it. So we decided we would do something similar here. Maybe just, talk about it. I've taken the quiz. I haven't seen my results yet, though, so we're going to be reacting to it. Brittany has not taken it yet, but Dave Butler has. Have you taken it yet, Dave?
I have. I have my results open. I believe I could share them, although the resolution's low enough. I don't know how good that would look.
Okay, awesome.
Also, I'm not sure what they say about me. It's I'm pretty milquetoast, apparently.
It says everything about you.
Oh, dude, that is funny, man. That's funny. Okay, so Rylan, before we go any farther, my man,
Yeah.
first off, just tell us who you are, what made you want to do this little study, what you think that it actually tells about us, and then I'm going to jump right in to some super chats. A quick reminder, as you guys are coming into the chat, please make sure that you guys like the stream. Also, make sure you share it with your friends. And oh my goodness gracious, we already have 3 super chats here. Okay, sorry. Ryan, before we get to you, my man, got to read these super chats.
Go ahead.
Jackson Pettit says, thoughts on the drones flying around New Jersey plus elsewhere. I'm hoping the alien invasion waits until at least after my wedding on the 21st. Well, Jackson, congratulations on your nuptials, my friend. I have no sway over the aliens, nor do I think I could convince them to postpone the invasion. But if TC Christensen is right and Escape from Germany, maybe God will just postpone it for a week. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be able to get married on time.
Have you seen the drone footage, Cardin?
You mean the Iranian drones they think flying over New York?
That are like ginormous, like
They're the size of an SUV.
yeah. Have you seen it?
I've seen one bit of footage. Is there another big one that I haven't seen yet, or what?
I mean, I don't know. I just think it's freaky.
Freaky is correct. You know, I don't know if it's quite Invasion of the Body Snatchers freaky, but I don't know. What do you think, Dave? Rylan, am I missing anything here? Is World War III about to start and we're just uninformed, or what?
I hope not. I'm uninformed. That's for sure. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. What about you, Dave? I know that you're into the Apocrypha and all of the prophecies that we didn't notice in the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Were drones the size of SUVs coming from Persia and an invasion part of the memo we didn't get?
Well, it turns out in the lost apocryphal book of the Central Intelligence Agency, a way to try to discredit interest in UFOs that are authentic would be to fake a bunch of UFO appearances with drones that you then yourself easily debunked, thereby discrediting everybody else.
Oh, okay.
May or may not have anything to do with what's going on in New Jersey and other places.
So you're like Joe Rogan, like, I want to believe.
I am Joe Rogan, actually.
Yeah.
This is this is a surprise. This is actually a hairpiece. I am Joe Rogan.
This is a well-fed
I
facade.
have been all along.
Awesome. That's funny. Jonah Barnes. Also, Jonah, shame on you for not picking up your phone, bro. I wanted you in on this live stream, my man. I wanted you in. And if you do want to jump in later, the link is indeed in the Discord, my man. He says, we propose Ether's Elephant for Ward Rizlord. All those who can sustain Brother Elephant in his calling, please put a W in the chat. All right.
What does that mean? What are my responsibilities?
To just teach us how to riz, my man.
To riz it
Okay.
up.
Yeah, to
Sounds
riz it
good.
up, dog. So Infernal Bulldog, welcome to basic telestial ticket. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, guys, I have the best bit of merch coming. I'm hoping to get it out by the 12 days of Christmas, but it might need to be a 2025 piece of merch. But there's this neighbor that I have who approached me and says, do you need some soaps? She makes custom soaps. So I'm making a custom soap called indulgence. So we can sell indulgences that wash away your sins. And it's going to say, like, though they be as crimson, and I'm going to have 3 levels. There's going to be like, you're not so bad. Thanks for the support, right? And it's going to have a little certificate you can take to your bishop and be like, look, give this guy a break if he ever, muffs up a bad, ugly testimony on testimony week, right? Then there'll be a second one like, yeah, you're pretty bad, dog, but we're all sinners. So like, go and sin no more, right? And then there's going to be this third one that is just crimson red, right? And it's going to say, dude, like you need all the help you can get. You're a sinner, brah. Come on, man. God's watching you, dog. God's watching you. So we might be selling soaps here in the Ward Radio Wigwam.
Some
pronto.
fruity soaps.
Some fruity soaps, Yeah, that was
So
gonna
my
be cool.
takeaway is you have a neighbor, and she said, Carden, you could really use some soap. I understood that, right?
Yes, that's one way of putting it.
Okay.
So, Infernal Bullfrog, thank you very much for joining the Ward Radio Wigwam. Mary Lou Howarth has gifted 5 Ward Radio memberships. Everybody, please put a W in the chat for our new friends. And Rosa Brand has also joined the channel. Rosa, good to meet you. Glad you're here. You're going to give the first talk on Sunday. So, should we start having talks, like Sunday talks made by members?
Missionary moments.
You know what I'm saying? Like super cringe missionary moments where people have to dig back into the 70s when they were on their missions because they haven't done any missionary work ever since then.
Wow.
I think you shouldn't be able to tell mission stories for more than a decade since you served. I just think that should be
Unless
a rule.
it's really good.
At which most of them aren't.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyway, okay, cool. So, Rylan, my man, tell us a little bit about yourself. What prompted you to make this quiz? What is the quiz? And then we're going to start slinging statistics here, seeing where we stand and if our moral compass is indeed askew. Hit us.
Oh, man. Okay, well, first thing, right? This isn't a quiz to determine worthiness. I hope people understand that. This isn't some kind of test to see if you're a good person or anything. No, in fact, if you land on the progressive side, that doesn't mean you're a progmo, okay? Lego Joseph Smith was all concerned because he was on the progressive justice side. He posted that on Twitter. But no, you're not a progmo. That's not what that means, okay? All we're trying to measure here is kind of the lens through which you see the world. Now, to do that, I'm kind of leveraging the psychometrics, okay? So basically, I stole everything from a quiz that's called the Political Compass Quiz.
Okay.
Probably people have heard of that. I think it like maps you on where you are politically based on a bunch of questions that you answer.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll notice a lot of questions are pretty vague. They require interpretation. That is on purpose. You see, because what we're trying to measure is how you're interpreting them. So that's the reason there's no like answer for like a neutral or don't have an opinion on. You have to either agree or disagree on every statement that's given to you because that forces you to have to interpret it. And the way in which you interpret it dictates how you respond. And then we aggregate all those results together and plot you on a map. You can either be orthodox justice, orthodox mercy, or on the other side, you can be progressive justice, progressive mercy. And it's just for fun. It's been quite interesting to see all the results.
Okay.
I gotta say, there's been so many people taking this that my Gmail account has been temporarily blocked from Google because apparently there's a limit on how many emails you can send per day, and it's around 500.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that. There's a limit.
Well, I found out.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I've been sending them. So I wrote a script to like automatically compute it and send, and it was just cranking them out yesterday.
Okay.
Thanks to Jacob posting the video, and then I got blocked. So for all of you who are still waiting on your results, I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, that is too funny. So you can only.
Yeah.
How do we overcome the problem of only being able to do 500 results per day? Because I'm sorry, bro. I didn't know that you'd gotten blocked because I just put the link in the description of this live stream. So we got hundreds of people that are going to be like, they're going to be. Okay.
No, please take it. Just know it might take upwards of a couple of days to get your results. And I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out workarounds, but you know, it's
no,
Google.
no. This is all
They
good.
have an army.
So what we're gonna do first is let's just burn through this really quick. All right. I got
Sure.
this up on the screen so that everybody can see it. And Brittany, you haven't taken it yet, right?
Oof. No.
No? Okay, cool. So what it says.
Wait, can we ask some more questions? I feel like we haven't really explored yet where this came from.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hit it. Ask
Oh,
questions,
yeah.
bro. Ask him.
So first of all, everybody knows this is not a judge of your righteousness because the church uses its generative AI called Danite to examine your tweets to determine whether you're worthy. That's how we know whether you're worthy. But
All
I'm
right.
curious about the axes you picked. I mean,
Yeah.
have you considered other possible, and any two contrasting points could be an axis. So why not, for example, correlated versus charismatic as an axis? Why these two?
You know, okay, so this is where this came from. After watching Word Radio and Thoughtful Faith and other YouTube channels, right? I started to note, my eyes were open to the fact that there's so many different beliefs within the church. And the most obvious scale, I think, is the Orthodox progressive. You know, you have members who are much more progressive in how they interpret things. The justice mercy scale, that just seemed to me to be the best way to describe how people view different moral issues. And not to say that like some people think that if you're on the justice side, that means you're more like judgmental or something. It's not what it means.
Yeah, that's me. I'm one of those guys. Yeah, that's me. Judging social justice warriors. All right, keep going. Guilty as
Have you
charged.
seen your results? You might be surprised. I don't know.
Well, actually, no, I haven't. That's why.
Pardon's extreme
You should
mercy.
check. I sent them. They should be there now. I
Okay,
think.
did you send it to my email so I can pull it up? Because you can't
Yes.
see this because unfortunately you're on Zoom, but I am putting on the
Okay.
screen right now, guys. This is what it spits out. It asks you a bunch of questions, all right, and they're all randomly selected. For example, doctrine is not well defined and therefore not a value to discuss. Strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Excommunication is often unnecessary. Strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Ultimately, leaving the church can be a good thing. Strongly agree. I'm a beta. I'm a hyper beta. You know what I'm saying? Like there's all kinds of different options there, right? The prophet cannot lead you astray, and it like gauges how you feel. And then after asking you this buttload of questions, it's not a buttload. It's what I say, like 50
40.
questions. Oh, it's 40 questions. Okay. It then ends up spitting out this little graph. Well, I've got Jonah Barnes's right here. And he is on the Orthodox axis, high on orthodoxy, high on justice. Anyway, so it puts him where that red dot is, right? Now I pull up another one. This one is, oh my gosh, I think this one might be Jacob Hansen's. I'm not sure right here. This one looks like it's Jacob Hansen's. Again, high on orthodoxy, high on justice. Or no, that might have been Luke. And then let me pull up another one right here. I'll pull up other ones, but it gives you a score, right? So anyway, keep talking, Rylan.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, my eyes were open to all the different ways that people view different issues in the church, and kind of the justice mercy one kind of just fits naturally with some of these bigger, more controversial questions. And so I assembled the great quiz, and it's not perfect. I'll say that, you know, I wrote it. There's my own bias in there. Some of the questions, if I could go back, I might change a little bit with their wording, but overall, I think it's doing exactly what I intended, which is really fun.
How did you come up with the questions? Like, did you talk to other people? Was it just like all things that you were thinking about?
So I based them off of what I've seen real people saying on YouTube, on channels, you know. But besides that, you know, I just sat out and cranked them out.
Okay, cool.
In a moment of inspiration, I suppose, I just cranked them out.
Okay, cool. Well, this is Dave Butler's. So we've
Ooh.
got so we've got Orthodox and Justice Jonah, Orthodox and Justice Jacob, but Dave Butler, look at him, big on the progressive scale, big on mercy, big mustard. You're just a big fat softy, bro. Like You know,
So first of all, I can't see what you're showing, but
yeah.
I'm not big. I'm like almost exactly at the center. I'm like one. You might not have mine, or you're exaggerating. I'm like
Yeah.
one pip off of the center towards progressive and towards mercy. Uh,
So you're in the center then. I mean, if you're that close to the center, the code will just send which one you're in. And if for those people who are like right on a certain line or right in the middle, it's just going to default to one of them. I'm sorry, I didn't make special cases for tie breakers, you know?
Uh-huh.
So for all intents and purposes, you're basically in the middle.
Okay, so actually, you know what's kind of funny, Dave? It's funny that you mentioned that, just because I thought, and this, I didn't name it this because I wasn't sure if you would participate or not if I named the live stream this. Okay, but you know the first thing that came to my mind when I saw this is I thought, this is a perfect test to see if you should be bishop or not. Because no, it's not a worthiness test, but I think it would be a good test to see if you should be a bishop or not. Because, for example, you know this, Dave Butler, why did they call Jesus Christ rabbi in the New Testament?
why did they call him?
Yeah. What was the rubric for being a rabbi?
Well, we don't know for sure, but you know, and subsequently, it's not an ordination. It's an earned by study and community recognition.
Okay, cool. Yes, but also, at least from what I understand, the rubric was you had to be married in order to be called a rabbi, and that's why a lot of the people that think Jesus Christ was married, they use that as a data point in their analysis. And from what I've read and from what I understand in talking to some Jewish rabbis myself, is that apparently the Sanhedrin was on record as saying the reason why they thought marriage should be one of the requirements of a teacher of teachers or of a man of God is because they understood that the law was very rigid and was, I don't want to say extreme, but there were a lot of rules, and there was no better training for how to balance justice and mercy than being married and being a father. And so I thought, there's a lot of balls that you have to balance as a bishop. There's orthodoxy versus chilling out and letting people have a good time. There's justice. Do you go over and thump the guy that's beating his wife? Or, do you let the teenagers that are spinning donuts in the church parking lot actually get away with it, So there's justice, mercy, there's progressivism, there's orthodoxy. And I thought, man, if you can balance all of those, then it means you might be a good bishop here. Do you think that's a good rubric, Dave Butler and Ryland Fowers?
Well, hear me out on an alternative, right? The book of Revelation says that if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. So the alternative reading is that I'm flavorless. I'm bland and meh in the middle.
Okay.
I think it's great. Let's let Dave Butler be the bishop. Let's do it.
Please stop saying that.
Yeah, dude.
Too late. It's
Please
out. The
don't
cat's
put
out of
that
the bag.
anywhere.
It's in
It's
the
a bad
atmosphere.
idea.
Okay, so we're going to actually take this thing really fast. There are only 40 questions. I'm going to rapid fire through these, and then we're going to end up just reading a couple of super chats here. But babe, do you want to? Oh gosh, can I just put in? I can just put in.
I don't want to.
I'm putting in your email address.
Palms.
You getting sweaty palms right here? All right, so I'm gonna put in your email address right here really fast. Okay.
Why don't you do someone in the chat, like a member?
Well, because I don't want to have to broadcast their email address to
You're
every.
gonna broadcast my answers?
No, well, just okay. Well, do you want me to just answer for you or what?
No.
Oh,
What is that? The patriarchy? What's that?
Yeah. Okay, then can you take it really fast? The link is in the live streams. The link is in the live stream. Okay. Then actually, I'm just going to put in a different.
So you want me to just do it on my phone, and then you're gonna show my result?
Yeah. So actually, you know what? Just read it out loud.
But how's he gonna? I thought his Gmail's banned.
Oh yeah. Is it up today?
I can get it to you if you give me the email through the Zoom chat.
Well, actually,
Okay.
I'll just read them all right now, and then you can send me my results, which I haven't seen yet. So we'll be able to check it out here. Okay. So you put in your email right there on the top, and then it says, okay, boom. Here's all the questions, and we're just going to burn through them. And you guys feel free to opine, feel free to oppose. Let me know what you think, okay? So, 1, oh, geez, you come out the gate swinging, bro. Gosh. Abortion can be justified. Strongly agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. I put down agree or strongly agree because that's just plain old codified doctrine of the Church of Jesus Christ.
Justified for who? For the baby?
Oh,
the baby
dude, brutal. No. In the case of rape, incest, mother's life, that
is it just that the rapist doesn't have to deal with that consequence?
Well, look, I'm telling you my answers, bro. I'm telling you.
I know. I'm just.
Okay, you're scoring points.
I'm just messing with you.
You're scoring points and singing the Star Spangled Banner, as Quaker would say.
No, that's a fair way to interpret that, and that's what we're measuring. So I respect your answer.
So I put on points of doctrine. I was like, okay, strongly agree. And so in this case, it can be justified. And the question is, can it be justified 99% of the time? Hell no. We're talking about those 1% of cases, It didn't say, can it be justified,
for convenience.
For convenience or as an affirmative good because you want to get your gender studies major and have more clout with your freaking social justice professor that thinks the more of these that you get, the better feminist you are. No, screw them. So anyway, second question. In heaven, a man and a woman are not required to create spirit children. Babe,
okay, this is one that I wish I could change because I think people are interpreting it not how it was intended. What I'm trying to say is not that a man and a woman are basically forced to have children. What I'm saying is that you need a man and a woman in order to have children.
Okay, well, I put strongly agree because what is the point of eternal progression if not to have eternal progeny, right?
Right.
Okay, is that scripturally backed up, Dave Butler? Is that backed up scripturally, or is that all just kind of like modern revelation? Or is that just me listening to Desnat online? Which one is that, bro?
I think that's probably commonly understood to be our doctrine.
Okay.
See, and
cool.
for that question, I would have put strongly disagree. But then, Rylan, when you explained it, then I would have changed my view.
Oh, good. I was like, that's grounds for divorce, babe.
Wow.
Wait.
Just kidding
Okay.
Hear my controversial take, I suppose, because I actually put disagree on this one. But
really?
It's because I think of a technicality that we've all existed eternally, right? We were all intelligences. And so that creation process doesn't necessarily look like it does here on Earth, I think. So I think technically, I don't know, I kind of go back and forth. I think you need a man and a woman in eternal marriage for the progression part, I should say. But as far as like creating of children, it's like they've already always existed. So there's some process to make them the spirit children. I don't know what that looks like. So,
Dave, is this passing muster? Or is he just a beta trying to skinny out before the people over at Faith Matters out him? What's going on, man?
I think this is the question. He's trying to figure out if you think that, for example, there's a potential that you might have, like one reason a person might just feel differently about this question is because you think that, hey, there's some possibility that the church might come around to the idea of same-sex eternal couples, right? That are able to do something, we don't know what it is, to turn intelligences into spirits to go through the plan of salvation. Surely that's kind of one of the possibilities this question might.
That's one of the possibilities
this might trigger in somebody.
Which that's not what I think, but that's one of the kind of questions. That's what we're trying to get at. Like, is that a possibility? Yes or no? And yeah.
Okay.
But no, I don't think that.
Okay. All right. Well, so then let's just burn through these. Tithing should be paid before anything else, including taxes. I put disagree simply because if you actually follow the law, and we do believe in upholding and sustaining the law, like you might hit at some periods of time, either in our country or in other countries in the West, like a 92% tax rate, at which point 10% is like impossible. There's not 102%, right? Also, it's of your increase. I think taxation is not necessarily an increase, and gone are the days in which we all have a ZCMI hourly paid salary in which the church deducts before taxation the tithing, making it so simple for us. All we need to do is cash our check and then go home. Nowadays, with the fragmentation of our economy, there's 1099s coming in, 1099Ks, 1098s, W2s, W9s. But like, it's so complex. I actually think it nearly takes a forensic scientist to figure out what your actual, a forensic accountant, just to figure out what your actual increase is. So I think it's kind of between you and the Lord. It should be 10%. We don't believe in free will tithing like other faiths do, but we're kind of there in the sense that, like, if your home value goes down $100,000 because of the fluctuation of the California housing market, what does the church now owe you, like, back tithing, like 10%? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. So right. I had put disagree on that one. Let's go to the next one. We'll do the next 5. A gay man could be called as an apostle. Oh, I don't remember what I put on that one. I think you have to be married, don't you, to become even a bishop or a stake president, or I think just based off of.
So if he was married, then yes, regardless of his sexual orientation.
Oh, no. I remember what I said. I said, no, a gay man could be called as apostle. I put agree. Because just because he's gay doesn't mean he's not married. Look at Temper Harwood. Look at Sky Sorensen.
True, yeah.
Look at these very noble.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Well, we should all listen to our wives a whole lot more often.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree. Okay. Doctrine is not well defined and therefore of not value to discuss. I put down disagree. It is well defined and is of value to discuss. And then finally, excommunication is often unnecessary. What were the results on that one, Rylan? What have you noticed any overarching kind of, especially once Jacob and his crew took that test? Although I don't know, on Thoughtful Faith, there's tons of like progmos and stuff. What is the internet saying on the question? Excommunication is often unnecessary.
So I haven't compiled all of the results, but just looking at it here, it's all over the map. Some people agree, some people disagree. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. I'm looking at all answers right here. So
really? And is it generally lower on like, agree or disagree, or is it like strongly agree and strongly disagree?
There's all of the above, all over the map. There's stronglies, there's not stronglies.
This gets to one of the questions I wanted to ask earlier, but we jumped right into this process. So hold on, I'm going to ask it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find an even spread of answers around the 4 quadrants? Or do you find that to some extent mercy corresponds with progressivism, justice corresponds to orthodoxy, and so you have something more like an hourglass shape? Or like, what are you finding?
So I'm hypothesizing, because I haven't compiled the results, but I've seen a lot of them, so I can guess. Given that we're working with a bias sample, a convenient sample of those who happen to watch, faithful YouTube channels, most people who take the quiz tend to lean towards Orthodox justice. And I actually think if you were to poll like all church members, I think probably about 60% would land there, maybe about another 20% in Orthodox mercy, and then maybe another 20% or so in the progressive mercy. I think the smallest one by far is going to be the progressive justice quadrant. That's kind of a rare one to be in. So I think that's kind of how the distribution
Why is that a rare
goes.
one to be in?
Well, you have to be someone who's simultaneously like kind of open on doctrine and interpretations of doctrine, yet very strict on moral values. And those two don't tend to correlate to David's point.
Savage, man. That's brutal. So you have to be kind of like an amoral, free-for-all person.
You just have to kind of have certain issues that you stand hard on, and others that you're very open on. So you're kind of like, and it kind of balances you out. I don't know. There's not going to be a ton of people who fit that. And I love it when I see people who go there, because it's like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Okay.
And we've had quite a few. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, but it's not an even distribution for sure.
But what are the tells? Like, what are the tells? Like, how can you, are there specific questions that really only like the super orthodox say yes on, like, yeah, there needs to be more excommunications. I mean, I just put out a YouTube short where Jonah Barnes was literally talking about how we need more excommunications in this church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, I just put out a YouTube short where he's literally calling for more
saw it.
excommunications, right? And, you know,
Right.
there's people that all tweet and saying, based, you know? And then, of course, you know, I'm like, I don't like purity tests. I don't like lists. I lived here in Hollywood. I've met people who were blacklisted in the 60s from being able to work and actually gain an income because of lists and so on and so forth. And even like super progressive Whoopi Goldberg, one of the only times I ever saw her get like actually furious with fellow liberals was when the actress from Will and Grace said, please, let's make a list of everybody that goes to the Donald Trump fundraiser in Hollywood so we know who not to work with. And she literally got on there and says, if people died in this town because of political lists, don't you dare. Like, and was like, whoa, Whoopi. Like, you piss off Whoopi on behalf of the conservatives and you done something wildly wrong, right? So
What a nasty woman that is.
Yeah.
Nasty.
yeah, for real. So anyway,
Do you want me to burn through some super chats before we continue with the quiz?
yes, here, we'll burn through some super chats and we'll go back to the quiz. Hit me.
Okay.
Go, babe.
Hayden Sweet said, sent it to my brother, didn't take the test. Instead, he said, it feels like a great way to lose sight of what our beliefs really are. Thoughts?
Too serious.
Sounds like-
Boo.
But
Sounds like your brother needs to lighten up.
You don't have to take it. It's just for fun.
yeah,
You know.
Yeah, that's the right answer. It's just for fun.
yeah,
That's why I made it. It's not perfect, so
Yeah.
don't get too stressed about it.
we have a lot of those in our church. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta figure out a way. Can we? We got a lot of people. We got a lot of progmos, and they're a problem because they're missionaries of social progressivism and cultural Marxism into God's church instead of missionaries of God's love into social progressivism and pop culture at large. That's a problem. But then also, like, some of these people who can't just frickin' lighten up for like 30 seconds that are trying so desperately to be Protestants and the Christian right in the 1980s, they're a problem. Like, they're probably just as big a problem as the progmos. So yes, I'm glad you guys agreed with me on that one. Brittany, next super chat.
Fidget the Crazy says, looking at the questions, there should have been a neutral box. Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's
That
hard.
defeats
It's hard
the
to commit to
It's
it.
just wrong. You got to force an answer
Yeah.
on this.
You have
Yeah.
to. That's what we're trying to measure, because you are forced to interpret it. And that's what we're trying to measure. How do you interpret this? How do you see what the question is trying to say?
Wait, but in Fidget's defense, though, aren't there some questions that really do need a neutral? Like, for example, let's just say somebody like wearing colored shirts to church. Was that one of the questions, I think?
Actually.
White shirt and tie. Yeah, that's one of the
Yeah.
questions.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. So, like, on that, I'm neutral. Just because I think, well, I guess it would depend on how the question is worded, because then I would be forced to interpret the question. Okay.
Yeah.
But
It says something like a white shirt and tie should be mandatory for men attending church or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're neutral to what someone wears, the answer is no. Men shouldn't be required to wear a white shirt and tie.
okay.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah,
I
there you
like
go.
Fidget. So, you know what?
I like
She's
Bridget
right. No, I'm
too.
just
Also,
kidding.
she's probably wearing way cooler clothes than I am right now.
Yeah.
She's just mistaken on this point.
And Fidget, I appreciate the feedback in the comment.
Yeah. That's
She
funny.
also super chatted that she just submitted her form, so she just finished her
Oh,
quiz.
snap.
Yeah.
Yes, send me. Okay, so Fidget's one of our beloved mods. Make sure, see if you can send me her results too, and I'll put those up
Okay.
on the screen. So,
Any
Brittany,
idea?
well, does
I have
she
to
want
look in
her
this
results on the
pile of
screen?
email addresses. I don't know.
So, did you finish your test, babe? Did you finish your test?
I haven't taken it yet.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
dang it, babe.
Sorry. Okay,
You
but
know,
ask,
that's-
I mean, Fidget, do you want your results shown? You should probably ask
Okay.
her that first.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let us know, Fidget, if you want your results shown. But I'm going to burn through the rest of these questions then really fast. If you guys have any questions, hit us in the chat, right? So, okay. Here we go back really fast. Ultimately, leaving the church can be a good thing. strongly disagree. It's not a good thing for anybody ever. Actually, there's the doctrinal Mormon in me, and then there's the kind of practical Mormon. I think somewhere, just because only Siths speak in absolutes, on this earth, there might be one person somewhere, but I don't think there's any situation that's part of the human condition that is not improved through the community, especially a community that is wrapped around a redemption narrative and the idea that we are morally responsible for each other. Just like Elon Musk says, when there's a problem that needs to be solved, it's a human that solves the problem. So we need more humans. We need more humans in the church. We need more bodies in the seats. We need more relationships formed, whether romantic, whether fraternal, whether paternal, maternal, friendships. That's how we get through life, is through the quality of our human relationships, and that's what the church helps provide. So I do not think that can be a good thing. So I put strongly disagree on there. Any other takers? Brittany, would you? Oh wait, I don't want to interrupt you.
Okay.
You're taking yours. Sorry about that. This is like a library, you know. So okay, the prophet cannot lead you astray. What did people say on that one, Rylan? What did they say?
People, let's look all over the map. All over the map again. This one is a very divisive question.
Okay. And then, is it appropriate to pray to Heavenly Mother? What on earth did people say to that one? To me, that one is dividing the Orthodox from the Progmos. That's the question, right?
That is, yeah, indeed.
I mean, didn't Julie Hanks literally put out a tweet saying, like, if you feel better praying to Heavenly Mother, just like do that?
I think word for word, yeah, that sounds about right. I'm trying to find that question here. Where did that
I don't want to
go?
inject like hearsay into the internet, but I think that was like one of the complaints, right? And then the shape and style of garments is primarily driven by culture. Holy smoke. I actually put agree on that. Dave, what did you put? And Rylan, what are the results?
I think I put agree also. I can't say strongly agree. But first of all, it's changed over time, right? In the last 150 years as our culture has changed. So it's difficult to believe that that there's not a cultural element.
Okay, which would
Interesting.
so I think I might have put agree on there,
Right.
just because
That's what I put.
That's what you put, agree on there, because they're only getting shorter. They're only getting more accommodating to uniquely North American stylistic changes.
Dude, it used to be one-piece long johns for everybody, right? And then it was two pieces, and then it's shorter. And by the way, we accommodated the military too, right? So if you're military, basically you can submit any piece of clothing you want, and they'll make them into authorized garments, right? So like, that's not to say there's not like an eternal element, but like that's why I didn't strongly agree, right? I agreed because sure, the shapes have changed over time.
I got a question for you. You could tell me if this is too silly of deep doctrine and stuff like that, but
okay, but like I'm not like the knows all the doctrine guy. I'm the guy who grew up at a
Of course you are,
everybody
Bishop.
had in their No, I'm not.
Like-
Everybody had a copy of Mormon doctrine in their house. And I went and I read it. I'm like, really?
Yeah,
Like,
but
you
if Bruce
can't
R.
have
McConkie could
tattoos,
have
you
his
can't
way,
play
we'd
with
all be
space
voting.
cards? This doesn't seem right. I like to read the scriptures. I don't necessarily know all the doctrine, but I'll happily take a swing at your question.
No,
Go
but
for
you
it.
know all the crazy, cool, weird, esoteric stuff, bro. You know what I'm
Okay, cool.
saying?
Bring it on.
So,
Bring it on.
So is there anything historic? Okay, so we can make out of extra virgin olive oil anywhere, off of any shelf, in any place, in any store in America. We can make our own consecrated oil for the healing of the sick and the afflicted. But, and from what I understand, members of the church used to make their own garments, especially during the Nauvoo era, in the early 1800s and so on and so forth. And it was only out of convenience, I believe in the 1940s or 50s, that the church began manufacturing their own garments because our population had grown. Also, the textile industry had become more affordable and so on and so forth. So out of the convenience of a centralized manufacturer in Utah, where most members had access to like distribution distribution chains that were church sponsored, so on and so forth, we all got used to the church manufacturing garments. But there's no actual rule. This is what I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that there's no actual rule that you can't just like make and bless your own garments, right? Is there a process by which they're made that you could do yourself like they did in the Nauvoo period? So like I could make my own, like I could get the true classic tees, right, that actually fit me better because I'm extremely tall and broad-shouldered instead of these weird little baggy, frumpy ones that they sell at Deseret Book. You know, like is there any actual, not loophole, but is there anything keeping a regular faithful member from just making their own?
I don't know if you did that, what people would do. I don't know if they would necessarily catch you. If they did, I don't know how they would react. I don't know what God's view on that is. I find it very convenient to go to the distribution center.
Oh, come on, dog. You're 6'7". There's no way that these things fit you as well as some of the custom tailored. I know for a fact you've probably had to buy custom tailored men's shirts for church. There's no way that with the clothiers you have in your life, you couldn't pull off better garments than the church could for your unique size and frame.
Probably. But again, I don't know what people would do if they found out. I got to know if my
Just own up to it.
There's
you know?
a temple recommend question about, and are you wearing the authorized garment? Like I think the bishop might say that's unauthorized.
Okay,
right?
but
I
maybe
don't know how they would respond.
So maybe we need some more spiritual libertarianism then. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things libertarians go after so much is the over requirements of licensure in order to be able to be employed. Is most states have these oppressive licensure programs that make it nearly impossible to get a license. And one of the number one things they're pushing for is easing restrictions on licensure. So like maybe we need some spiritual libertarianism in the church, baby.
Well, this was actually one of my suggestions to Rylan, is that he might consider alternative axes, one of which might be correlation versus charisma. In other words, to what extent do you accept, desire, invite central direction? To what extent do you anticipate that the individual member will seek inspiration for herself, right? Those are a different and interesting set of questions.
Okay, what other, did you have any other questions for Rylan or any other suggestions for the next iteration of this test, bro?
Well, the other axis that I thought would be interesting would be ecumenism versus, I'm not sure what the opposite of ecumenism is in one word, but like, because it's not orthodoxy, but
isolation.
It's exclusion or something. Maybe it's isolation, right? It's to what extent are you trying to include everyone versus, right? Like, to what extent are you outward facing? And saying it that way almost sounds like I think that's the right answer. That's not what I'm saying. But to what extent are you trying to looking for what is common between you and other restoration groups or Christian groups or whatever, Muslims, Hindus, as opposed to what extent are you interested in drawing the line around what you do and say, nope, this is what I do. You don't do it. You do something different.
Okay, interesting. Brittany, catch us up on Super Chats really fast before we go back to these questions. Hit it.
Ooh, I'm taking my test right now.
Oh, okay, never mind. I will catch us up on Super Chats, all right? So Stoic saying...
There's a comment in the chat that I may be mistaken about garments, and I may very well. In the military specifically. So my understanding was that there used to be basically a brown option. But my understanding from recent conversations with people who are currently in the military now is that you basically take the articles you want. I don't know if it's to the distribution center or what, and they basically put the marks on them. Now, maybe I misunderstood that, but that's what I had heard.
Okay, sick. All right.
My guy had a companion who swore by the one-piece button butt flap. His grandfather told him that's the one he should go for, and that dude would not stop talking about how that was the best. It wasn't like it wasn't a matter of true practice or what, it was the most comfortable. That's what he loved.
Really? So my dad was on his mission when that one changed. And I'm like, what? That lasted all the way until like the late 70s? Are you kidding me? He said everybody flooded to get different garments when he was on his mission. And then that rule got changed. Yeah, as soon as that could.
That's pretty funny.
Wow. Okay. In all of your studies in the language of Adam, and I know in a lot of your books that we're going to be pubbing here towards the end of the live stream, you talk a lot how you believe that, all of the Book of Mormon prophets and the prophets in the Old and New Testament were indeed temple worshipers, that the Sermon on the Mount was most likely actually a temple initiation ceremony, that King Mosiah's famous sermon on the tower was actually a giant temple initiation ritual, similar to how we dedicated the Nauvoo temple in the year 2000 and invited everybody to come and see that temple dedication. Is there anything you can point to in the Book of Mormon? Because, that is the proof Joseph Smith was a prophet. Well, he's the one that also through Revelation came up with the first round, shall we say, of the temple ceremonies and rites that indeed did have the garment. Is there anything you can point to in the Book of Mormon where you're like, okay, these were garments, or in the scriptures in the Old and New Testament where it's like, these were garments akin to what LDS people in the modern day wear?
So I don't know about that. There are a lot of passages that involve being dressed. The Book of Mormon prophets, the metaphor par excellence of resurrection is always being dressed. Corruption putting on incorruption, mortality putting on immortality. Jacob talks about the robes of righteousness, which I think mean the robes of Melchizedek in 2 Nephi 9, around verse 15 or so, connecting them with the idea of resurrection. And so I think that for them, they understood ritual dressing as a way to be resurrected, but I have not, it's not obvious to me that there was something they wore all the time, as opposed to something they put on in the occasion of an ordinance.
Okay, interesting. So I'm actually going to continue here really fast. Next super chat actually comes from Stoic Saint. What's up, guys? Quick side note. Have you seen the new age grifter Billy Carson just get exposed in a debate by a real biblical scholar? Don't know who Billy Carson is. Are any of you guys familiar with this? Is he the guy that's going after Dan McClellan right now? There's so many Billies. I don't remember the last names.
I wish I knew.
You wish you knew? Okay, I'm sorry, Stoic Saint. We failed you, my man. Actually, hold on. I'm going to look this up really fast. He just super chatted us. I'm going to look and see who this is. Scholar exposes Billy Carson on camera.
Hi, I'm Joe Delaney. Today,
Stoic philosophy right here. Don't want to pay for somebody else's ad really fast. But boom shakalaka. Here we go. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look at this, but it's got Mike Winger on it, so who knows? It's probably full of anti-LDS garbage. But this, we're going to look into it. We're going to look into it, my man, and tell you what we come up with. Next super chat, really fast. We've got the compilation, I think it says, just had 2 Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door. I told them I was LDS, and they took off like the Roadrunner. New convert and just received the Melchizedek priesthood last Sunday. Much love from Brisbane, Australia. Oh, rock on. I had some roommates from Brisbane, my man. That's really cool. Shout out to Tim Glenn and Donovan Glass. All right. And then Polynikes 2000, member for 16 months. Awesome. Says, my results placed me as an Orthodox Justice 2.5, squiggly line 3 to 3.5 per the survey screening. Likert scale needs more options, 5 to 7 though. What do you have to say to that critique, my friend?
Well, I'm not a psychologist.
What's the Likert scale?
I am assuming it's one of the many psychometric scales that these psychologists send to people to try and understand what they think or what their habits are or whatever. Okay. I don't know. They get into all these survey stuff. It's one of those things.
Okay, cool, sick. Well, let's burn through the last of these questions, and then I'm going to put my results up. Brittany, are you done taking your test?
I am. I submitted it.
You submitted it. Okay, cool. So if you could send me the results here, to that same email address. We don't have to say it on the live stream. But if you could send me the results.
Well, I put in my email.
You put in your email? Okay, cool. So I'm.
Well, this actually raises another question for Rylan.
Okay.
I can't tell what your email is. Yeah, go ahead.
I can't remember whether I had to indicate my sex or gender. I think it was just kind of name and email address, right?
Right.
Like if you looked at correlating these answers, male, female, or in other dimensions, or you don't have the data maybe.
Well, okay. In retrospect, I should have done that. To be honest, I didn't plan on this many people taking the quiz. I didn't, I tested it out with Jacob Hansen. That was fun. And then, we have over 2,000 responses, more data than John Dillon used in his dissertation, almost.
But, savage.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to pass it easily, I think. But I wasn't planning on, if I knew this was going to happen, if I knew this were going to happen, I should have gotten some demographic information because that would have been interesting. But retrospect is 2020. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. So can you send me to the email address that I sent you the Zoom link from? Can you send me my results really fast? Because I'm going to end up putting those up on the screen for everybody. And then is it possible to send my wife Brittany's results so we can put them on the screen? I'll read some of these super chats while you're doing that.
Hold on. Did you put the email?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, did you put the email in the Zoom chat? I don't see it.
It's the one I sent you the Zoom link from. That one. Yeah, the one that I sent you the Zoom link from, if you don't mind.
But to get Brittany's, though, to know which one's hers, because there's so many coming in.
I put my email.
Okay.
I don't know. I need to find it from the list of emails.
Hers the one that starts with boho. Because she's she's so bohemian.
Should we put markers down and guess where we think Brittany's going to come out, though?
Yeah. Like we totally have to try and plan this. Oof. So babe, where do you think on the scale, you know your husband, where do you think, so this is Dave Butler, okay? Yeah. Between justice and mercy, mercy. Justice and mercy, orthodox and progressive, where do you think your beloved husband will fall?
Oh. That's tough because there's so many different sides to you that no one really sees, but I see all the sides. But gun to my head, I had to choose. I would probably say Orthodox mercy.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think I will be in the yellow? So Dave Butler just inches barely into the green quadrant.
Yeah.
Between a merciful progressive. Mm-hmm. So he's the guy, he's the bishop that you want to talk to.
I mean, I don't think
when
you're
you've gotten into trouble a third time with your girlfriend and he won't excommunicate you. But a fourth, you know what I'm saying? A fourth, that's where he draws the line. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're going to be kind of like Dave Butler. I think you're going to be kind of in the middle. I don't think you're going to be far on either quadrant, but I think you might be a little bit more in the Orthodox mercy.
I think I'm going to be the only guy in the yellow quadrant that's Orthodox and merciful. Because, for example...
That's what I just said.
Yes, okay. But I don't think it's going to be just barely.
I
think it's going to be, because for example, oftentimes people say, well, how do you feel about this? Would you judge somebody? I said, no, I wouldn't judge somebody, but don't lie and change the rules and say that they're not a rule breaker. You can simultaneously say these are the rules and we're not changing the rules, but I also have an insane amount of non-judgment for somebody that breaks them because I know that life is hard and, so on and so forth. So I would guess I'm orthodox and merciful. Now, what about yourself? Where do you think you will come out in this? Where do you think you'll come out in this?
I don't know. Those questions were hard because they, like Fidget said, there was no neutral, and a lot of them I wanted to be neutral. So if I gun on my head, I had to choose.
Babe, I think you're going to be in the red. I think you're going to be
so?
opposite me because you're high on justice. You hate it when people piss you off.
That's true.
You hate it when people, come after your kids or
Yeah.
me or something like F these people. Just sue them.
Yeah.
Well, no, babe. F these people. Burn their house down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like,
I'm a Taurus. What can I say?
Yeah, you're hardcore, but also at the same time, you're like, I hate tithing. The church has enough money. It's like, so what? She did X, Y, or Z thing with her boyfriend. Whatever. He's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
my.
it's like, so I think
let's
you're going to
see.
be big time in the red. Have you had a chance to send us our results, Rylan?
I have sent you yours, and I forwarded you Brittany's. They might be in your spam folder. I've heard some people are saying that it's going to their spam, probably
Mine
because
went
I'm
in
on
my
Google's
spam folder.
watch. Oh, see, there we go. I'm on Google's watch list apparently.
Okay.
My
You
email
got fidgets,
is
by the
sending.
way?
I don't know out of the list of emails which one is fidgets, and I've been looking.
She had
And
a comment to something about like if he's looking for a hint, if he needs a hint for my response, just look for quote fidget end quote.
Okay. So
I don't know what that means.
So,
Oh.
Like maybe it's in the address or
I know what it means. I found it.
You found it. There
dude,
we go.
dang
Good
it.
job, fidget.
I don't
Way to
have
help
it
out.
in my inbox, bruh.
Check your spam.
I know. I just
Spam.
did. Look, babe. You can see my screen right here on the. I'm looking, and I've
Did
got.
you refresh?
Yes, I refreshed. So I just refreshed right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I go down to spam. All right, and there's all mail. And
Are
there's
you
spam.
in the inbox that you sent the Zoom from? Because you have a lot of emails.
I do have a lot of emails, so I'm going to go to a different one. Oh, here it is. Yeah, he sent it
Oh,
to
you
the
found it.
wrong.
Oh, good.
Wrong. Okay, cool.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry. Did I send it to the wrong one?
Yeah, you did. It's all right. Okay, so
Oh,
I've
I'm
got
sorry.
it. I've got
Whose
it
is
here.
that?
This one is Brittany's. Okay, so hold on. This is gonna be good.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so here is Brittany. I was right. I was right.
You were right.
Yes, you are in the justice and the progressive quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you are in the
Like
justice.
right in the middle, basically. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at you, babe. How do you feel about those results? How do you feel?
I mean, we've been married for 12 years, so yeah, you know me pretty well. Yeah.
Okay, what makes her more justice-oriented and progressive? Are there any questions you think you could peg her on there, Rylan, or is this just?
Ooh. I'll have to get back on with you on that. I need to refine where her results. My computer's moving so slow when it tries to load them because so many are like still coming in,
Okay.
and there's a ton of them.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to go back now to yonder inbox, and hi, Carden Ellis. Here's my
Was I right?
snap. No, I was right.
No, I said Orthodox.
Oh yeah, no,
Mercy.
you were right. You were totally right. So, babe, Orthodox and Mercy.
We're
Interesting.
opposite, yellow and red.
Oh, that is too funny.
What a perfect couple.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask right now. Do you have any data, Rylan, on couples? Do you notice, like, for example, that generally opposites attract, or do you notice that birds of a feather flock together?
You're the first opposites that I know of. Though I only know like a few couples that have taken it. So far, they've all landed in the same quadrant. So I don't know. Maybe it's either you're in the same or you got to be opposite. There's no in between. I don't know.
I would like
Interesting
to
theory.
prove that you're not very merciful, Carden.
Okay.
You're barely merciful.
You're just a little bit. Mercy for some.
Look, if we had to give me a papal name, which when I'm dictator / prophet / Mormon Pope, I will institute that rule that you have to give yourself a name, just like there's like Pope Pius the 17th, Pope Gregory the 3rd, John Paul the 7th, you know, how they have to pick their Pope name, right? You know, I think mine would be Carden the Merciful.
Oh wow.
I think that is good. You know,
Are you sure it's not
sounds
Carden
like
the
the name.
Humble?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm positive it's not that one.
No, because then when finally, like all of when the world descends into chaos during the apocalypse and the Protestants actually start becoming violent in order to enforce their dogmas against us, like they used to, you know, persecute us in the 1800s, and you know, when they try and pull off Hans Mill 2.0, right? That's when And when it's time, when we finally fight back and things get kinetic, then, then we can come in and just like pardon them and be like, Cardin the Merciful has given you a stay of
Dude, that name sounds like the propaganda of a Mongol Khan.
I was going to say that.
Base yourself before Cardin the Merciful, and he will not trample you with his horse.
It's like Negan naming them the saviors. It's
ironically not
name.
so merciful.
It's a horrible name. Okay. So, where do is there a color that most people that have taken this test in these first 48 hours fall into, Rylan?
Yes. The blue color, which is the Orthodox Justice, is by far the most popular. I think probably the majority of Latter-day Saints would land there, I think. I'm not sure. But, I mean, this is biased. I mean, a lot of these people who took it are followers of Jacob Hansen. That's where he landed. So no surprise that we're going to have kind of skewed results towards the Orthodox Justice quadrant.
Okay. And any other kind of interesting factoids you've gleaned from all of this?
I mean, it is interesting. Even within quadrants, there's quite a bit of variability. And that's been interesting to see, and the way in which people answer the questions has been fascinating. If people haven't seen the episode with Jacob Hansen, I think the way he explained why he was answering the questions the way he did was very fascinating. There are people in the comments of that video saying, "This is weird. I agree with Jacob Hansen, but now that I see him answering these questions, I don't like him anymore." I'm just kidding. That's not what I said. But no, but they're like, I'm just kind of surprised that he's answering them like the way that he is. I think people maybe mistakenly thought he was going to be on the extreme, should we call it the Disnet side, which is the extreme corner of Justice Orthodox. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it means if you're up there, if you're Desnat or not. But yeah, no, the variability is super interesting to me. Very interesting. I'm a little surprised at how split some of these questions are. I didn't think they would be.
Really?
And yet, here we are.
Okay, cool. So
not to this extent, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually just going to put this on the screen right here.
Fidget's very impatient, by the way. She's.
Oh, I sent it to Fidget. Do you want me to forward it to you, Cardin?
She's saying, "What about my results?"
Okay.
Do you want to? Should we share? Fidget?
Yeah. No, should we share with me?
When you answered, did you answer a lot of like the strongly? Like agree or disagree? Did you click
on some things? I think the majority of mine were just like agree or disagree. But
that was mine.
I
was just wondering. That's probably more orthodox. The more strongly you put. I don't. For me, I just did. I think I only did like one strongly.
Okay. That's interesting.
Probably why you're so close to the middle.
Maybe.
You weren't extreme on anything. Yeah. Cardin, I just forwarded you Fidget's responses.
Okay.
But I sent it to the right email this time.
You sent it to the right email this time.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So then I'm actually going to open up a link in a new tab really fast. And then we are going to, we're going to check this one out. Here is Fidget the Crazy. Oh, interesting. Okay. So Fidget the Crazy is also very just kind of boom, right there in the Orthodox and Justice side, which makes sense. So really fast, I'm just going to show some of these examples here so people can see. Here we got, there's Fidget the Crazy. Here we've got Jonah Barnes's. Very similar, just slightly higher on Justice. Here we've got, I believe it is, that might be Luke Hansen, if I'm not mistaken. And then, or Jacob Hansen. They were both basically very similar together. And then here is Big Mustard, Softy, Future Bishop, of
never gonna happen, man.
Oh,
do you know the church in Utah? Have you been here?
Why? Is it because you got long hair? Is it because you got long hair or what?
Yes.
It's the facial hair.
The president heard I was being invited to give firesides in Texas, and his comment was, "Dave has long hair. I'm not sure he can really represent the church."
Shut up, really?
I'm not going to become a bishop unless I move to crazy Gentile California with you, and that ain't happening for other reasons.
Oh, okay. Why? Do you have like outstanding warrants or something like that?
I don't have $10 million to buy a house.
That is true.
If I move, I'll go to like South Carolina or something.
We just need to get more of your books sold.
a lot more.
There we go. You heard the man. Let's buy. Buy.
Okay, Dave, I just saw your comment. He said LDS sorting hat. That's hilarious.
Dude, that's
kind of what it is. Maybe we should make each one one of the houses of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ravenclaw.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I want Ravenclaw.
Oh, really?
Are you a Ravenclaw? I love Ravenclaw. That's my favorite.
Really?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you, I really think that this is a legit way of measuring whether somebody would be a good bishop or not. So anyway, okay, we only got 5 minutes left here, and then we're unfortunately gonna have to shut her down. We're already 9 minutes into overtime, and so on and so forth. But yeah, please don't forget to like the stream as you guys are coming in. If you have any other questions you would like to ask us, then please hit us up in the chat. I see a couple of other super chats coming in. I'm going to get to those really fast, but I want to put a plug in for this before we forget. For sale right now at wardradio.com. We've got, oh gosh, man, there's not a lot left, right, babe? But we still have some War in Heaven veteran hats, right?
Yeah, like a few snapbacks. Few of the normals. We're sold out of the small, medium, flex fit, but those are coming in soon.
Yes, there is a new order that we should get hopefully within the next 7 to 10 days, and we are going to be working our butts off to make sure that everybody gets these before Christmas. Running a merch store is actually pretty fun, and this is definitely one of the more popular items, so we're making sure that anybody that wants one is going to get one. If you watch our content, there's still some coupon codes to get 10% off in the merch store that people haven't finished taking advantage of. Like 7 out of 10 of the Light and Truth 10 coupon codes were used, but I still think there's like 2 or 3 of those.
Should I look it up?
Yeah, you can look that up, and but also you should look it up by watching more of our content.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? You should look it up by watching more of our content. But yeah, there's definitely some War in Heaven veteran hats still in the store. Also, we got a bunch of the shirts left, and there are still, if I'm not mistaken, 7 or 8 of the War in Heaven veteran t-shirts that people like, and a buttload of sweaters. I don't know if we just got to put some of the zip-ups sweaters on sale or something.
I love the hoodies and the beanies are probably my favorite.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of hoodies and beanies that we're going to be pushing that are a lot of fun. And speaking of the hats, we are going to ingest. We had a request for some extra large 2XL flex fits. So we're going to make sure that anybody that wants an extra large or a 2XL flex fit gets theirs. And we're going to have to send you one up there in Montana, Rylan. You know what I'm saying?
Great, now people know where I am. You gave it away.
Yeah, can you believe that?
No, I'm kidding.
We meant Nebraska.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm in an undisclosed location somewhere in the great state of Montana.
So the good thing is Montana is big.
It is huge. Yeah.
It could be
I'm just
in a lot
teasing
of
you, Cardi.
places and still be in Montana.
Dude, so what is the church
That's
like
true.
in Montana, dog? Like, I gotta know. What is it like being is there like one stake center, or is there actually a buttload of members there?
There's one stake center, kind of a pseudo stake center. There's 2 stakes now in the great city of where I'm at, which I will not name. Just kidding. No, it's good. My wife's actually a convert to the church, and she joined it here. So it's I think it's kind of a religious community. There's a lot of Christian churches here, and then the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints obviously is also here, and it's a great, great community. Kind of smaller than what I'm used to, having grown up in Utah and lived in Arizona, but it's fantastic. I love it. Great people here. Shout out to all the people in Montana.
Okay,
You're great.
What do you guys do for fun out there? Like, Montana's like 10 hours from anything. You got the national
the best
park.
part, you know?
Yeah, what do you guys do for fun? Like, I'm not trying to say you're all a bunch of rednecks.
I've seen Yellowstone. They herd cattle.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of outdoors activities to do, I suppose. I don't know. The zoo, there's a lot of good food, in my opinion.
We should go to Montana.
Typical stuff.
Yeah, like, what would we do?
You'd go watch grizzly bears.
Ooh.
Okay.
Fun.
No, but is
Try
that
not to get eaten.
okay, so when people come down, Like Dave Butler's done this. Dave Butler's come down. He's been in the studio, and now he's a serious guy. So he comes down, records, and then bounces back, right? But for example, if he said like, hey, I want to bring my family here and make like a weekend out of it, what can you do? There's like 15 things I can list depending on what you want to do. We can hit the beach. We can go scuba diving. We could go shore fishing. We could just go whale watching. There's all the oceanic stuff. You can go to a nude beach. You can go to a conservative beach.
Boy.
You can go to whatever kind of beach you want. You know what I'm saying? Look, hey, Big Mustard. He's got a lot to show off.
I'm such a serious guy that when you had a debate between the two different sides of the geography discussion, you asked me to write a song making fun of both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Extolling their virtues, not making fun of them.
Oh, sorry.
There's the beach, but if you like music, if you like music, there's the Staples Center, there's the small venue next to the Staples Center.
We do have a lot, but what do you and I want to do the most of the time? Go to dinner and watch a movie. Like that's anywhere.
Okay, that's true. Do they got movie theaters in Montana, bro?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I just
I mean, not as many as you would think.
No,
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty indoorsy. You know, I'm a kind of a nerd that likes to hang out inside. So for me, I could live anywhere and have fun, I think.
So like if we were just to come visit you randomly someday, like we're those cousins you
Please
haven't
do.
seen in a decade, like what would you take us to do in Montana? Like what's the quintessential Montana Mormon thing to do, bro?
Oh man, I'd take you to eat some food that's unique to the area. I don't know. I get see since I'm not from here, I'm kind of like learning things still. We actually haven't lived here that long,
Okay.
to be honest. I think they like American cheese a lot more than any other place I've been to, which is kind of interesting. Maybe I'd take you to the zoo, or literally like this idea that I was mentioning earlier. Like you go out and you watch. If it's the right season, of course, the grizzly bears in their peak when they're getting ready to hibernate, they're super active. And apparently it's really fun. You can also fish for salmon out here. They like import some salmon to a few lakes, apparently. Then that would be fun.
I love salmon, and
like
Cardin
that.
can't stand seafood.
Oh, salmon's so good.
Really?
I like
Oh, yeah.
salmon.
Oh, it's horrible. And the
Delicious.
canned stuff is half bones anyway.
Okay, we don't eat canned
Not the canned
salmon.
stuff.
What?
You eat like fresh salmon.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
pink crap that tastes like
pink
overcooked
crap?
tuna.
Well, I
Like-
like tuna too. So
Oh, jeez, it's horrible, man. It's horrible.
You go catch a salmon and cook it yourself, and you might change your mind. you
Look,
know?
pineapple belongs on pizza. Salmon doesn't belong on anything. All
but
right,
it does if there's garlic and lemon and butter on it.
Oh, geez, man, we are opposites, man.
Yeah.
We are opposites. Jeez, okay. Got a couple of super chats I'm going to hit right here really fast. Pizza Doctor, speaking of pizza, says, an East Orthodox guy told me setting a painting of Jesus in their chapel 7 days iconizes it. Would leaving his shirt 7 days in our temple garmentize it? Dave Butler, what do you think, my man? Would 7 days?
Yeah, that's correct. We should probably go consult Mormon doctrine though and see what Bruce R. McConkie thought.
Oh,
Just
come
put it in
on.
there.
What, does he actually have some strong feelings on that or no?
No, I don't think I don't think it was in there. Yeah, I don't think that actually probably passes the authorized prong of the temple recommend interview question.
So what are the rules for all these old temple workers that have like 15 different types of shoes that I see in the temple? Like some people have straight up like white wingtips that I swear were like $200 shoes made just for them and are like the formal version in white of like the shoes that they wear to the church. And then there's other people that have basically like socks that look like they have like a onesie material on the bottom that they're walking around and going whoosh, 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 whoosh on the carpet, right? So is there any
Well,
rules?
first of all,
some people have
white
Skechers.
wingtips,
What?
that's awesome. White wingtips, that is very cool.
Yes, it is.
But also, I think the rule, Cardin, is that they have to be white. I think that's the rule.
That's the only rule. So I could get some Air Jordans, and as long as they
Oh
were
my
white,
gosh.
those could be my temple shoes.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
question. Maybe. Although I would have. You know what? That's maybe you're right. Maybe they don't want you to have corporate logos on them. I don't know that for a fact though.
Because I've seen some of the ladies sporting some Skechers. Have you not seen a lot of
I've
Skechers?
seen that, yeah. I wear ballet
Okay.
slippers.
Okay.
I think that's
Wingtips.
the answer. You wore a branded shoe in there. As long as it was white, they probably let you.
Okay.
You say wingtips, Nike swoosh, tomato.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking
Right.
about. And then,
It's
excuse
just
me.
style.
Then Crandall Logan says, Oh, excuse me. First caught live stream. Normally I miss these streams working graves, serving the nursery, making goldfish at Pepperidge. Oh my gosh, this guy makes goldfish at Pepperidge Farms? Dude, Crandall Logan, can you get us in, my man? Can you get us a tour? I will go out with the Ward Radio crew to see where goldfish are made.
That would be cool, actually.
Yeah, I want to see how goldfish are made, how all these little Mormon babies are fed during sacrament meeting. You know what I'm saying? You are a scholar and a gentleman. You are like the lineman that keeps the power going and the lights on at night to the hospital. You are like that night watch cop that sacrifices to do the night shift so that, we're all safe at night. You're keeping those Pepperidge Farms goldfish coming so the 2-year-olds can sit there and munch instead of screaming during sacrament meeting. You, my man, and those things are addicting. They're tasty. You have them with a water bottle. I could just keep with that salt, the carbohydrates, the water bottle. You're doing God's work. All I can say is you're doing God's work, bro.
Okay, well,
A true Latter-day Saint right there.
continue with his super chat, Carden.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. But let me just point out, this is the most enthusiasm Carden has shown the entire 90 minutes.
I never buy
goldfish.
goldfish. Maybe I should buy some for you.
Yeah, dude,
I
for
think
real.
that's correct, Brittany. You need to go buy a big Costco jug of goldfish.
Them in
Okay.
the studio.
And then he continues and he says, please pray for my brother doing chemo at the Huntsman. Oh, man, boy, do we know all about that. So we will, and Crandall, we are going to put you on the prayer roll at the Discord. Shout out to the Discord if you have not yet to participate in the Ward Radio Discord. It's actually growing fast enough that the moderators have asked me not to publicize it so much, but it's a ton of fun, and they do such a great job making sure that it's an inclusive, fun atmosphere where anybody can really ask anything. So I just got to put it up in the I just got to put it up on the screen here in a second. The Ward Radio Discord is a ton of fun, and if you have a chance to check it out, please make sure you check it out. All you got to do is go to wardradio.com, and right where it says join the Discord, if you just click on that link, it automatically takes you to Discord, and then once you're there, you can actually join in the conversation, and it's like everything that's cool about Reddit mixed with everything that's cool about all the other social media platforms. It's a ton of fun, so make sure you check it out and join the Discord. You can set up an account and be with us there. Last super chat, babe. Do you have the last super chat up?
LDS response.
Yes.
Yeah. He or she says, anyone interested in a Ward Radio discuss on the symbolism on the armor of God? LDS book collector. What is that? Ephesians 6, Doctrine and Covenants 27.
Anyone interested in a
I don't know what any of that means.
discussion on the symbolism on the armor of God at LDS Book Collector? Okay, LDS Book Collector, I do believe, is a YouTube channel. Is that ringing a bell here, Dave? Have you seen at LDS Book Collector?
I don't think I know that.
If I'm not mistaken, I've seen that, and I don't know where I've seen it. So LDS response, yeah, we'll have to get back to you on that one. And then Samuel Skeen, Samuel, what's up, my man? Says, with Cardin's gushing over goldfish, does that make him one of those toddlers? Look, I got to tell you, the creative adult is the child that survived, and that child that survives ends up having tastes that he developed during his formative years. And some of those tastes of mine might have been goldfish. Also, my mom was a public educator, and sometimes kids that forgot their lunch or kids that, had low blood sugar or something like that, she just had a huge thing of goldfish in her classroom that I would go to after school. So I would eat handfuls of those things sometimes when she was working late or at parent-teacher conferences and we couldn't go get regular food. So yeah, I've eaten a ton of goldfish in my life. Then
you're just a diaper away from attending nursery.
Yeah, hey, by the way, that's actually not that bad of a calling. Me and Brittany
No, it's not. It's great.
Yeah, me and Brittany did nursery for what, like a year and a half, right, babe?
Yeah. It's too long.
Oh, maybe too long for you, but dude, these little kids, they're smart. Like there was this kid that was a rough houser, and he was the black sheep, had literally like a crazy dad, probably some kind of drug addict mom or whatever, and then the grandma was dragging him to church, and sometimes he'd like swear because at home that's all they do, and sometimes he'd never wear any church clothes.
He used crayons and would pretend to smoke them like cigarettes.
Yeah. He did not come from your regular like nice wholesome environment, but grandma was constantly bringing him, right? So I had an affinity for this kid because I was like, oh, he's a cool kid. And what was really funny was there was a rich kid in the nursery that always came to church looking great to the nines. It was a corporate investment banker's child from Merrill Lynch that married the supermodel. They were like the power couple and their perfect little kid, like cuter than Barron Trump saying, "This is my suitcase," was this guy, right? The darling. But the darling was sneaky. And so I'd see him sometimes. He'd come up and then he'd steal a toy from the raggedy kid. The raggedy kid would come over, be like, "No, it's mine," and take it back. And as soon as he took it back, he'd be like, "Raggedy kid stealing from me!" And then all the adults would look over and be like, "No, give it back to him," And then so like I caught him and I was like, no. I saw the whole thing. And the sneaky banker's son just swiped this thing and put on a show, knowing that all y'all would side with him. And I saw it from the very beginning. And I got to tell you, I think that banker kid is going somewhere. I think that banker's kid is going somewhere.
I think they're both going somewhere. I just don't know.
Yeah. They're both going somewhere because one of the kids came up and thumped him. So he's either going to jail or else he's going to become a big music artist and make a really cool punk or emo album or maybe become a rapper or something. I don't know what.
Okay, last super chat.
Banker kid's going somewhere too. Yeah, last super
Let
chat.
me just quickly, Brother Crandall wants us to know that Logan is his first name.
Oh, his
Logan
brother. Okay.
Crandall.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Rock on. We'll do that.
Truth from Earth. Pleased to see, is it Ether's Elephant? Is that your YouTube name? Ether's Elephant on here. Loved your videos ever since the first one exposing the real reason why people never learned about polygamy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So what is it, bro? Tell us before we go. What's the real reason that people didn't
You want me
learn
to
about
spoil
polygamy?
the video so people don't go watch it?
No. Well, actually, I'm pulling it up and putting it up
kidding.
on the screen. Yeah, hit it.
No, basically, there's a large set of members of the church that seem to be very surprised by Joseph Smith's polygamy. And I don't think you should be surprised by it. I don't think people are trying to hide it. And I try to explain why I think that in the video, and appreciate the super chat.
Okay, cool. So anyway, this is his channel, guys, Ether's Elephant. He's kind of new. Doesn't have a ton of subs yet, but we think you guys should all go and subscribe there. He's got a lot of really cool videos here. How Trump won over the Latter-day Saints. Facts about gender in the family proclamation. Shocking. Ward Radio's Cardin Ellis exposed. Oh, he does an expose on me. This could revolutionize the word of wisdom, in which he has a video about RFK. Oh, that's interesting. What did you say in the... I didn't notice that one. How is RFK going to revolutionize the word of wisdom, bro?
Well, if you read the word of wisdom, kind of the reasoning behind why we don't take of certain substances right at the beginning is to say, it says that it is to avoid basically the conspiracies and issues with imperfect men that are trying to take advantage of you. I'm just saying, if you were to expose certain things about, say, ultra-processed foods, maybe you could interpret the word of wisdom to mean that you should avoid ultra-processed food. It's kind of just a thought experiment in light of some of this new research coming to light. And I kind of asked the question, like, how would you feel if that were the case, that you couldn't have high fructose corn syrup, for example? And it's just kind of a fun video, just a thought experiment, not to be taken too seriously. But if you're interested,
RFK.
check it out.
I love RFK.
Yeah, for real, dude. Be honest, would you leave me for RFK?
No.
Oh, not that bad. Okay, rock on. Sweet. I was actually thinking you might actually think about that a little bit more for a second, you know. So anyway, all right.
Now, if you would have said, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
RFK 30 years ago.
Yeah.
There you go.
He was a handsome devil. Okay, well, the name of his channel is Ether's Elephant. You guys, it's right here on your screen. You got to make sure you check it out and you subscribe. I think it's absolutely hilarious and good stuff. Dave Butler's got a book that you guys gotta buy. Dave, where can people find your book and what's it about? Your latest creation, my man, and what do you got coming down the pipeline?
That's interesting. Maybe this is the right place to talk about it. The book Carden, sorry, is referring to is In the Language of Adam, published it this year. It's about the Book of Mormon as a temple text. There's been some discussion of it in the chat actually. It's doing astonishingly well. It is actually a bona fide bestseller, as is Jonah Barnes's book. We are having great success with both our books. I think the thing I am probably going to do now. Tell me if you think this is crazy. This is interesting. This is the first time I've mentioned this publicly, I think. Here's what I think my next writing project is. I've thought a lot about this. Okay. I think I'm going to do a version of In the Language of Adam for Gentiles. I think I'm going to take that and try to go talk to the larger world about the Sermon on the Mount and about Jesus being a mystery teacher and somebody who practiced and taught the heavenly ascent.
Whoa.
It might be nuts. It might totally crash and burn, but I think that's what I'm going to do next.
Well, that would be a massive missionary tool, I guess. So what, you're going to fuse Margaret Barker with James E. Talmage and you? What's going to go on here?
I'm going to take In the Language of Adam. I'm going to strip out all the Book of Mormon stuff, and I'm going to go work in a whole bunch of New Testament, maybe also some other stuff, Dead Sea Scrolls, Philo, Apostolic Fathers, but probably focusing on the New Testament. And so one way to think about it is to say it's the sort of the same material, but instead of focusing on the Book of Mormon, focusing on the New Testament. But actually, I want to not mention the Book of Mormon at all. And I want to try to go take this to YouTube channels that are not LDS.
Really?
And see if I can get people talking about this. That is what I want to do. Might be nuts. That is what I want to do.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if he does it, it's going to be right next to In the Language of Adam on your screen. You guys can see plainandpreciouspublishing.com. If you check out their catalog, you guys can order 2 publications that we have talked about extensively on this channel, both In the Language of Adam by D. John Butler, also known as Big Mustard, and The Key to the Keystone, written by Jonah Barnes. I do believe that's the only place you can get them. We can't be like the radio shows that say, get them where their fine books are sold, because Plain and Precious.
You can also get them at Amazon. They're also at Deseret Book. It's the same price, though. And
Deseret Book took them?
Deseret Book is carrying In the Language of Adam, yeah.
Whoa! How'd you get through that firewall, bro? You got long hair.
I know they don't know that about me. They think I'm the other guy. They think I'm the seminary teacher. It's the same price. Totally thrilled if you buy it wherever, right? Totally thrilled about wherever. If you buy it on Amazon, they take a chunk, and that's fine. Thrilled to have people reading it however they get it, right? But it's true that if you buy it from plainandpreciouspublishing.com, then we cut out Amazon's share.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
It's all good for me, though.
Okay. And I'm also going to put a big fat shout out here for scripture notes. They actually got something really cool I want to share before we go, is that the website now supports buying a gift membership of scripture notes for other people, which is a great thing to do for Christmas. All right. So there are gift memberships to scripture notes that you guys can get right now for your loved ones. Scripture Notes is a super cool sponsor of Ward Radio. In fact, I'm going to go to their website right now before you guys go. You have to read your scriptures every day, and I don't think there's a more fun way to read your scriptures than going through Scripture Notes. It's this awesome app that you can log into, and then once you log into it and you sign up, they've got the Apocrypha in there. They've got cross references. It's basically everything LDS Tools wishes it could be if they spent all day coding, and it's a lot of fun, and they're a great sponsor for this channel. So if you would like to give a gift membership to Scripture Notes, please make sure that you guys check them out there. So sign up for Scripture Notes, give a gift membership. Check out In the Language of Adam and Jonah Barnes' book, Key to the Keystone. And if you can, guys, go over to Ether's Elephant on YouTube and subscribe there. In the description of this video will also be a link to Ryland's LDS Moral Compass survey that you can check out there. Any last words before we go? Anything else we got to say, guys? Did I skip anything? Nothing? We're good? No more.
We're good.
Okay, no more super chats here. No more super chats. Awesome. So, guys, it's been real and it's been fun. You guys hang out just for a minute after the outro so we can talk on Zoom afterward. But it's been real and it's been fun, and it's been real fun. For this and more, please make sure you guys check us out at wardradio.com.
I built a rocket in my basement. I'm gonna fly it to the moon. This supersonic is amazing. You're gonna feel my sonic boom. I'm flying higher and I'm never coming down. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me. We brought the funk into this function. We show up dressing to the